Good morning, my dear student. Myself, Dr. Chandan Singh Ahirwal, Assistant Professor Horticulture. Today's lecture, Unit 2, Lecture 4, Scientific Production Technology for Tomato, under the course of Production Technology for Vegetable and Spices. Hot 211. Tomato Introduction. Botanical Solanum lycopersicum chromosome number 2n is equal to 24. Solanaceous family. Tomato is also known as the poor man orange in India, love of apple in England, origin place of tomato in South America, in Peru. Ancestor of Solanum lycopersicum varieties, sericiform, edible part of the fruits of tomato. Self-pollinated chesmogamy is a species. Anther dehiscens longitudinalis and inflorescence for cat raceme cyme. Raceme cyme is many times coming to competitive exam. The Tomato is a book Dr. G. Kallu published in 96. He is also known as of tomato in India, father of tomato in India, and father of tomato in international level, Dr. C.M. Rick in USA. And haploid plants in tomato, grapes and grapeshoots, and day 1992, and tomato genome fully sequenced in 2012 is a year of very importance, many times coming to competitive exam like JRF, SRF and NET also. Tomato genome size is 950 mb. Tomato seed oil 24% margarine, and tomato pigments. Tomato pigments is also red color by lycopene pigments, and yellow color beta carotenes, and tangerine colors and polycarbonate pigments also. And importance of tomatoes. The protective foods like vitamin largest and world largest vegetable crops after potato and sweet potatoes. Protective foods like vitamin C is the presence of tomato is 100 gram of foods 16 to 65 grams, and lycopene 20 to 50 milligrams per 100 grams, and total sugar 25% in ripe fruits. Amino acid in 100 to 300 milligrams per 100 gram also. And processed item, the pastries, purees, syrup, sauce, ketchups and chutney and soups also making by the tomato. Medicinal use of the tomatoes for the blood purifications and prevent mouth cancers and sores mouths, and treats spans sticks cancers also. And important varieties of tomato, only name of, and I was described to PDF forms, to characters and many other things of the in descriptive notes. Please go in the description notes and collect to detail to study materials. And important varieties like Pusha, Rohini, Upahar, Pusa hybrids. Pusa series variety released from the IRI New Delhi, and Arka Samrat is a variety released from the IHR Bangalore. Pusha Shadabahar also released from Pusa New Delhi, and Pusa means IRI New Delhi Pusa, and Pusa hybrid 8 and Pusa hybrid 4 is a very important variety for the processing purpose. And Arka Abha, Arka Abjit, Arka Abdul is very important varieties. Arka Alok is important varieties also. Arka Ananya, Arka Meghali, Arka Rakshak and Arka Sharab is the most important for the use of food processing industry in tomato, sauce and ketchup also. And Arka Srishta, Arka Vikas, Arka Vardhan, Arka Vishesh and Arka Amrit and Kasi Hemant, Kasi Sarad, Kasi Anupam, Kasi Abhinam, Abhimans and Punjab Barkha and Bihar Bahar Forts. Punjab Barkha Bahar Fort, Punjab series varieties from the Punjab Agriculture University, Punjab Barkha, Punjab Bahar Bantu and Punjab Gaurav is a most important use of processing. And Punjab Satraj, Punjab Red Cherry small tomato, red cherry small tomato fruits. And Palam Pinks and pink like fruits. Palam Prides, Palam series variety released from the Palam Agriculture Universities, Palampur, Himachal Pradesh. And Palam Tomato Hybrids 1 Solan series from the Solan Agriculture, Himachal Pradesh Agriculture Universities. And Vice Pramar Agriculture University, Solan Garima, Solam Sridhar and Solam Lalima, Solam Red Round Cherry tomatoes like small type of fruits. Soil and climate is very important for the tomato, and soil can be grown on the wide range of soil and sandy to heavy clay soils. And however, the well drained sandy and red soil is suitable for the tomato cultivation, and rich organic matter presence in the soil for is good for the soil health, and 6 to 7 pH are important constituents for the soil. pH also ideal for the good for soil cultivation. Climatic condition is the tomato is the warm season climate, best for fruit colors and quantity of tends for the temperature from 21-24 degree temperatures for the best quality of the color development of tomatoes. The temperature above the 32 degrees centigrade adverse effect of the tomato developments. Rule of the tomato is the different stage of the tomato for the effect of temperatures to tomato. The crop stage 1 is the seed germination is the temperature 18 to 30 degrees centigrade for the optimum temperatures is seed germination, and optimum temperature for the cultivation 20 to 24 degrees centigrade. And lycopene production and lycopene developments is a higher amount at 21-24 degrees centigrade. Pollination is a highest pollination founded at the temperature of 21 degrees centigrade. Lycopene reduce above the 27 degrees centigrade, not desired below 16 to 27 degrees centigrade. And next one is the land preparation of the tomato cultivation. The field allowed to fine tilth by giving 4-5 plowing with the sufficient interval, and 2 plowings is good for the soil health, and plucking should be done for proper leveling. Furrow are then opened to recommended spacings also, and wheel decomposed FIM 25 tons per hectare thoroughly incorporate in the time of the land preparation is very important for the microorganism development and CO2 development of the soil. And what is the propagation method of the tomato? The first one is the tomato nursery bed preparation. And nursery bed preparation is the tomato seed sown or nursery beds are raised seedling for the transplanting. This is transplanting crops also. And raised bed is raised bed of 3 into 0.6 meter size, and 10 to 15 centimeter height is prepared for the, and 1 meter width for the Nursery bed preparation: about 70 centimeter distance of the kept between the two beds also, and operation like easy operations for the watering and bedding also. And the surface of beds should be smooth and well leveled, is a good for the nursery germinations also, seed germination also, to avoid the mortality of seedlings due to the depending upon the drench of dumping of drenching the seed beds in the first with water, and with the Augustines 10 to 15 to 20 grams per 10 liters of the water also. And season of planting is a importance for the planting season. Seeds are sown in June July for the autumn winter crops, and for the spring summer crop seeds are sown in November also. In the hill seeds is shown in the April, March to April. And raising of nursery, raising of seedlings is what is the methods about 250 to 300 gram of seeds are sufficient for the raising of seedling for 1 hectare of the land, and prior to sowing seeds are treated with the fungal culture of Trichoderma bredi 4 gram per kg of seeds, or Thyrum 2 grams per kg of seeds for the avoid the damage from the dumping of disease also. Sowing should be done highly thin and spreads at 10 to 15 centimeter distance. Seeds are sown at depth of 2 to 3 centimeters above the fine layer of soil, followed the light watering by the water can. Water can only used for the irrigation methods, as like after the suddenly just seed sowing for the next steps also. The beds should be covered with the dry straw and grasses and sugarcane leaves. Maintain the requirement of the temperature and soil moisture for the bed. This is a help to the seed germination and good for the soil temperature maintain. The watering should be done by the water can per can as per the need till germination is completed. The cover of straw and grasses is removed immediately after the germination is complete. And during the last week in nursery, the seedlings may be the hundreds by the slightly with holdings water also. The seedling with the 5 to 6 true leaves are ready for the transplanting within the 4 of sowings, and 4 of sowings also. And spacing is important for the planting. Maintain that planting distance for the plant to row spacing, and depend upon the varieties. Type of variety shown the highly broad areas used for the season of planting, and normally the seedlings are transplanted at the spacing of 75 to 90 centimeter row into 45 to 60 centimeter plant also. This is a difference and depend upon the varieties and areas also. Method of planting is the seedling are transplanted in the furrow in the light soil, and side of the ridge can be heavy soil also. A pre-soaking irrigation is 3 to 4 days prior to transplanting. Before the planting, seedlings should be depend on the solution prepared by the Novopon. Novopons is used for control of the some problem also. Tomatoes, the Thyrum also used for the Dithanum 45 also used to 10 liter of the water in 5 to 6 minutes. Dip of the seedlings and transplanting should be prepared done at the evening time. Transplanting is only used for the timing is most important. Transplanting is done to evening 3 to 6 p.m. also. The fertilizer applications and manure fertilization is most important for the successful cultivation of the tomato also. And the fertilizer dose depend upon the fertility of the soil and amount of organic manure applied to the crops. For the good quality of good yield is 15 to 20 ton of the well decomposed FIM incorporated into the soil also, approximate 25 ton per hectares also. Generally application of NPK 120 kg nitrogen and 80 kg of phosphorus and 50 kg of potash per hectare is recommended for the getting the optimum yield also, and a half dose of the nitrogen and full dose of the phosphorus and potash given at the time of planting. The balance half of the nitrogen is given at the top dressing of 30 days at the transplanting also. And next step is the irrigation is the tomato is most important to the successfully and disease free production of the tomato is very sensitive to a water application. Heavy irrigation provides after the long spell and droughts causes cracking of fruits also, hence it should be the avoided. Light irrigation should be given 3 to 4 days after the transplanting also. And irrigation interval should be the recommended soil types, and rainfall irrigation should be given 7 to 8 days interval during the Kharif season, and Rabi season also 10 to 12 days, and 5 to 6 days during the summer season also. Next is how to control the weeds in the field of the tomato. The tomato field should be kept, and weeds especially in the initial stage of the plant growth as well complete with the crops reduce the crop yield also desired. And friendly and frequently shallow cultivation of the tomato should be done the regular interval as kept for the no competition of the weed and plant also. The weed control by the plastic mulches can be used for the weed control, and different type of plastic mulch can be the black and or transparent polythenes can be used for the control of the weed also. Weeds can be controlled the successfully mulching the plug used for the herbicide has been used of the pendimethalin and oxychloroquine. Oxychloroquine can be used for the 0.12 kg per hectares, and pendimethalin 0.75 kg per hectare successfully weed control in the tomato crops. The crop rotation: tomatoes should not be grown successfully on the some fields break at least 1 year is the requirement between the planting of the tomato and other solanaceous crops like chili, brinjal and capsicum to potatoes and tobacco also. Cucurbits can main vegetable. The crops has been be grown after the tomatoes are the follow the rotations is a cereal crops like after the tomato rice, corn, sorghum, beets and millets also. Cucurbits can be the cabbage like cruciferous families like cabbage, cauliflower and kohlrabi also, and radish, watermelon and onion, garlic, groundnuts, the sunflower, tomatoes and the season of sugar beets and margarine also. And staking is the most important for the tomato of the good quality of the fruit cultivation. Due to the tall habits and having bearing natures of the hybrids, staking is essential. Staking facilities facilitates the interculture operations and help to maintaining the quality of the fruits. Also, it is done 2 to 3 weeks after the transplanting. Stacking can be done either by wooden stacking or laying otherwise overheads wire to which interval of individuals of the plant is tied. For the plant support also, in case of the intermediate types, 2 and 3 wires are stretched parallels to each other along the row, and plant are tied these wire also. And harvesting and yield of tomato depend upon the varieties. Fruits become the ready for first picking about 60 to 70 days after the transplanting. For the good ideal days of the harvesting, the stage of harvesting depend upon the purpose which fruits are can be used also. The different stage of the harvesting for the different purpose. Dark green colors for the long distance purpose transportation. Dark green is the change for the reddish, and pink shades is observed on the fruits. Fruits can be sieved or harvested in this stage, can be used for the long distance transportation. Broken stage, breaker stage, dim pink colors observed in 1/4 part of the fruits, and fruits are harvested at the stage to ensure the best quality. Such fruits are less prone to damage of during shipments, often feed a higher price less than mature tomatoes. This is a good things for the transportation. And pink stage is the pink color observed 3/4 part of the fruits is for the also middle markets for transportation, long distance market and middle distance market also. Pink stage can be used for the middle distance market. Reddish pink fruits are shipped the nearby whole fruits. Turn reddish pink colors fruits for the local sale and harvested. Think of this stage. Reddish pink can also be used to local market supply chain also. Fully ripened fruits also be used for the only for processing industry also. Such a good thing for the making of the tomato ketchup and sauce also, and other products also. Many product of the tomato processed product. And yield is the per hectare varies greatly according to the varieties and season also, and depend on the open field condition production and protected cultivation production. This is a open field production yield also, and the yield varies from the 20 to 25 ton per hectares, and hybrid variety may be yield up to 50 to 60 ton per hectares. And this is a open field yield. And tomato can grow to protected cultivation to yield increase to from open field condition to protected condition 5 to 6 times more, and 4 to 6 times more is increase the yield. My dear student, go to the reference for use the handbook of horticulture by the K.L. Chadda and genetic improvements of the vegetable crop Dr. Jikallu, and Vishnu Swarup also book used for very good for the competitive exam also. And thank you very much for the watching this video. Any queries, please comment in comment box. Okay, thank you very much.